Hazukitty actually says Hazuki in Japanese there.
Yes,
So.
I did notice that. I was trying to figure out which one was Walsh. So that does make sense. So Tarumis, they are 8-4 right now, 24 points. They can pull off a win here, or if we get a situation where Waffle House Drive-Thru gets swept 0-2, they're in the playoffs. They're fighting for this, and here we go. Meanwhile, Fendrana Drifters on the right, looking to keep their perfect season going, and we get a Fire Rod right off the bat in the Sanctuary.
And yeah, regarding the teams, I'm sure Tile Roomies would love to just win here, because if they win here, not only do they clinch a spot, they clinch second seed, so they're going to have the, better seed advantage in their first round if they do that.
Yep, that's a great point.
And of course, Fendrana Drifters at this point, they're the only remaining undefeated team in the entire league. I'm sure they'd love to be able to say that they went undefeated for the whole season.
Yeah, especially because they got, if I remember right, I think we've talked about this before with them, they got knocked out in the conference finals last year, so they didn't even get to play in the finals. And, what better revenge would it be than going all the way through and sweeping everybody?
Yeah, they had a great run last season. They were 13-1 in the regular season last time around. And there's our map check. I saw Blue Pendant on Desert, 5-6 Crystal on Eastern, and I think that was a regular Crystal on Hera.
That looked like that was the case to me.
So yeah, as you pointed out, they exited in the conference finals, so they were a semi-finalist overall in the league. But yeah, they definitely love to go further. And hey, there is a glove in the mushroom spot. That's our first useful item besides that fire rod.
Absolutely, it's gonna be super convenient as well. That's going to open up a couple of extra locations to check and put you one step closer to having Dark World access. And of course, with this being Randomizer, you get stuff like Walsh up there having the big spike up in the dam.
And some unorthodox routing from Frostbite, going to Saha so early. He got bombs, figured he'd do it, and it really pays off there with the lamp and the hook shot.
Oh, that's going to be super nice to have. Yeah, this is where this room right here that Megawatt's in the back half of Escape, where the 3 chests are. That's not pleasant to drop down into. Ooh, and Megawatt finding flippers, bombos, and the map.
Wow. They're just stacked in all these unusual locations, and I guess it's going to be a matter of, when our tile room is going to check those locations.
Yeah, and Drosy, one of the things when you've got co-op like this is you're going to see a lot of split checking, I guess is a good way to describe it, where one person will go to one location and check something, and you'll see another person go to a completely different accessible location, just, maybe on different sides of the map, but it's just to kind of cut down on the amount of time that you're spending wandering around.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the big things in any co-op is like, how well do you divide the labor?
Yeah, because there's no reason for 2 players to be checking the exact same spot at the exact same time when you could be in 2 different accessible locations checking 2 different things.
But then if you find something important, it's like, how quickly can your teammate get back there?
Right. So there is a little bit of thought and planning into figuring out how you want to go about this. And as we see, Frostbite now is the first dipping into the mini mold room, while Hazukitty is checking out Blind's hut.
Ooh, and we find our first bottle in mini mold room. That's about the only useful thing there.
Ooh, and the mushroom in Blind's hut showing up. We do have an additional bottle has been found in Kakariko. Hazu has one, so
I'm guessing Walsh is going to go to the back of Escape now. Sure looks like it. So he'll get the flippers and the bombos. Not that we're anywhere near Zora money, but hey, at least we can do all the rest of the flipper checks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked here if we see Frostbite actually do some of those checks here around Lake Hylia. Since we're getting an ice cave check right now. And it's nothing.
Hey, and some health is certainly nice. That's another thing about co-op seeds where, you know, your partner finds a heart container. They're not going to tell you to take this huge detour to where they just went just so you can get a heart container.
Yeah.
So you generally have to assume you're going to get less health, less safeties than in a regular one-on-one seed.
There's just some mean placements of enemies here from the Randomizer.
But hey, one thing we don't have to worry about is coming across Trinex, because we've already got both rods. I wonder if that actually means there'll be an early Trinex.
Yeah, it could certainly mean that. We'll need to find something to poke them with, but you know, could be anything that we find here. Within one of the first dungeons, maybe you'll find a hammer or a sword, or just anything handy like that.
So, for what we were saying about safeties in co-op mode, we did see a mail upgrade in the library, and so that's an interesting question of, do you come back there when you have the boots? Depending on how many heart containers you have, blue mail can be really useful.
I kind of feel like you do if you are able to kind of route it in conveniently. Oh, there's that hammer.
Yeah, so now we just need a moon pearl for Dark World access.
Yep. And this kind of does put the possibility of Trinex in play now, because we can kill him if we get him. It's not easy with the hammer, but you can do it.
Yeah, though who knows when we'll go that far into a dungeon. Then again, you know, since it is Randomizer, we can full clear Eastern with that hammer and the lamp. It's totally in logic.
Oh, poor Hazukitty's getting bullied on the. Oh, that's that. I didn't even need to see the Gyptos. That's just, that room is mean enough as it is.
I mean, I'm realizing between what the different runners have found, we have the ability to beat any boss already. We have the Bombos, so we can handle Cold Stare. We have the Hook Shot, we can handle Argus. We have the rods for Trinex.
Yeah, that's a good point, Drowsy. A little, perhaps if you were running this, you'd be like a little bit concerned about that too, that you might be running into something really tough here with your green mail 4 or 5 hearts. Not something you want to run into like a Trinex or anything like that right now.
Yeah, and even Armos Knights are pretty annoying without the bow. What are you going to do, boomerang strats on them?
Here's a mushroom turn in for Megawott, so we'll get to see what this is really quickly.
If Phylian's in chat, though, I'm sure he'd be really excited to see a boomerang Armos.
Oh, that's the pearl. There's our Dark World access.
Mushroom turning?
Yep.
Nice. Looks like Hazu's about to do that too. As she also gets the fish reward. Only 20 rupees.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea to do that, though. Meanwhile, we're getting our first dungeon check at 8 minutes here from Walsh, who is in Eastern. Just to open up these chests, gets the big key. First chest. It's always nice.
Megawatt forgot to empty his bottle before throwing it into the fountain. Oh, red goo, that's a pretty nice reward. Definitely good to know about. Wow, Frostbite is just tearing through Death Mountain here. Oh, but he doesn't yet have the hammer, so
Right.
he can't actually go to Hera while he's up here.
Which, yeah, they'll know where it is. But yeah, Frostbite. I think Megawatt found it at the point where Frostbite was already on the mountain. So probably weren't going to see him go off the mountain to go get that and then come back up. You know, might as well check what you can.
Yeah. Well, and so the flute was in Paradox Cave, I'm assuming, and he got up via Old Man?
Yep. Definitely saw him go through and take care of Old Man, and then went across and did Paradox. So that is indeed what we saw.
So now Megawatt's going up there to get his flute. Didn't really see anything else useful there, but he might go into Tower of Hera.
Right, it will be kind of interesting to see that. Of course, with the hammer, you can take care of Moldorm.
Oh, also, I'm just thinking, looking at the trackers, rdwalsh definitely has Bombos because it was sitting next to Flippers.
Yes.
And that's relevant if he finds a cold stare back here. Though I guess the Fire Rod can also do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point to bring up, Drosy, is that we don't necessarily need the bow to beat this dungeon. So it'll be interesting to see Walsh go back here and see what we find.
Of course, it can be a bit confusing in this room that Walsh is entering, figuring out which enemy has the small key that you need. Right. But hey, if you gotta fight Pengators, good thing you have that hook shot.
Yep. This is one of the Pengators.
Oh yeah, and Fendrana Drifters haven't even cleared CAC yet, so Frostbite is giving them their first look at it.
And yeah, Frost is going to have that mushroom.
Actually, they must have, because Megawatt has Moon Pearl, so he must have gotten the mushroom.
Yep.
Then why was Frostbite full clearing the basement there, just to get a bit of money?
Might have been, yeah. Unless he's trying to just get enough, make sure he's got the right amount for Bottle Vendor. But they would also know that Bottle Vendor really doesn't have anything. And yeah, Megawatt is heading on over to, looks like Tower of Hera. And we'll go inside.
Okay, who's the boss in here? I don't blame Walsh for picking up every heart he can.
Nope, don't blame him at all.
Hello, menu boss.
Ooh. Well, the good news is that you can complete it at least. It is Argus. It's going to take a while, but yeah, better than running into something that you can't complete and having to back out.
And Megawatt setting up bootless Parapot here. Oh, and Hazu giving us our first look at Hype Cave, and really not much in there. That heart container was nice, but
Was that a refill on hearts? Was that Sank heart? I couldn't tell. I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't sure if she had full hearts already.
I wasn't paying enough attention. I was simultaneously watching Walsh fight Argus and Megawatt try to do the Harapot.
So much going on here with 4 screens.
Now, the thing is that Big Key in Hera is vanilla, so we are abandoning the big chest for the time being, and I haven't been counting items.
Who's hanging upstairs? Oh. No, it's our friend, the Helmasaur King at Moldorm.
And Megawatt did not want to deal with that.
Ooh, and Walsh picking up a sword drop from taking care of Eastern.
Well, that's a nice find. For everything we've found, that's our first sword.
Yeah, that's a great find. And that's also a pretty good read by Walsh to know that, you know, you've got hammer hook shot. If you run into Argus, you can take him down.
And we should also note, and thanks to our trackers for keeping up on this, that with the runners now having Dark World access, we've gotten a Dark World map check. And we might not need the Cane of Samaria today because Mire and Turtle Rock are both pendants.
And yeah, I just saw Megawatt pick that heart up, Drosy, in the Hype Cave, and it is indeed Sankart because it refilled his hearts.
And with Thievestown full clearable, we might get an early Pyramid Fairy, I'm wondering.
It wouldn't shock me. It's one of those situations you really just kind of have to look at what the seeds got laid out and what you've got, and just try and read it as best you can.
Yeah, the Fire Rod will get us through Skullwoods. Thievestown, you know, the only question would be the big chest, but we have the hammer for that. And that's about what we can do besides Eastern and Hera for full clearing dungeons.
Knows about the crystals, so I would say it's not a bad idea to go ahead and knock those two out.
We can also dive pod. In Randomizer, the only thing that's bow locked in pod is the boss.
Right.
Chat pointing out the health discrepancy between the two sides where, you know, Megawatt and Frostbite both have nearly a full row of hearts. So does Hazu, but Walsh is still on 5 hearts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably just a decision here from Walsh just to kind of be like, I can do this, I'm going to go for it.
And Frostbite is actually going to do a pod dive here.
Interesting.
Yeah, quite interesting. When you have 2 clearable dungeons, I think maybe, you know, you send one runner to Skull Woods and the other to Thievestown.
Yeah, or I think we may see that from tile roomies. I'm thinking Walsh is going to head over to Village of Outcasts, actually, as Hazukitty is now catching up on everything that's in Paradox Cave. But I wouldn't be shocked, yeah, if Megawatt doesn't make the trip to probably maybe even Eastern Palace. Have them clear both sides of the same map.
Okay, so that small key, this is gonna sound weird, means the logic doesn't think we're bow locked because the logic actually lays out pod as though the enemies were normal. So if there hadn't been a small key in that chest, the logic would think you were bow locked, even though there aren't going to be red mimics in that room. Hey, there's our other mail in chest game, so we're not going to go back to library for the other mail when we get boots.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm probably not going to see that unless somebody's feeling like they need it, but it's not necessary.
And I'd happily buy a mail upgrade for 30 rupees. Oh! Hazu just, you know, took that fish and threw it off into the sky.
The fish is one with the angels in the clouds now.
And yeah, I'm just thinking, Walsh is definitely the best situated to do feats. Well, no, because the bosses are randomized. I was going to say blind is much easier with a sword, but we don't know that blind's back here. We do know that since this is full boss shuffle, every boss has to appear at least once, so there is a blind somewhere in the game. And Hazu is getting the vanilla big key of Tower of Hera, so we are going to see what's in that big chest. Meanwhile, Megawatt and Walsh are pretty much pacing each other through Thieves Town here, as Frostbite heads to the back of Pod.
I like this play from Walsh, being able to do the at least check in these first 4 and probably going and completing the whole dungeon here. I think this is a smart play.
And cue the Benny Hill music for Frostbite.
He's got it. Nicely done. And there's Trinex. Hello! Megawatt. Finding him as well as Walsh.
Ooh, and Walsh with his very small number of hearts takes a quick death there.
Yep.
Megawatt's better situated.
Well, at least it's still a 3-phase boss.
Megawatt is down to 1 heart, but
Yeah.
he does have that red goo, as I recall.
Correct. You just gotta be really careful here. Not.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Walsh is trying again. Wow.
Yep. This is not going to be the easiest phase 2 for Megawatt here.
I mean, at least for Walsh, he does have that blue mail.
Mm-hmm. Megawatt taking care of business with the hammer though on 1 heart, so he's got a green goo. Fill back up. Oh, got it. There we go. Gotta be careful with those shots.
Okay, and it looks like Walsh has got this now because he's on phase 2.
Yep, should be okay.
And Frostbite's done with Pod. As we've discussed, he can't go to the back. Hauser's gonna bomb jump over here.
And Walsh hopefully gonna finish up. Try next here.
And that was the compass for Hazu, so Helmasaur King in the Moldorm Chamber has the final item.
And yeah, half magic showing up after the Trinex fight kind of seems a little mean, but I'm sure everyone will find that welcome.
And remember, 3 enemies are duplicated, so just because we've seen Trinex doesn't mean there isn't a second Trinex somewhere. Hazukitty using bomb strats to get off Helma's mask, which is a popular strategy when he shows up in a Moldorm chamber, because it's really hard to approach him.
Yeah, it's gonna be really tough too because you've got all those areas. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Ah, dang. Yeah, you gotta be really careful because you've got all those areas you can fall off too.
That was so unfortunate because she did such a good job of the first phase, and then it was the second phase that got her.
Yep.
But yeah, you got a flute, you might want to stock up on potions. And that's true for all of our runners.
And Megawatt back down to 1 heart. Just gotta be careful here on getting this bottom area checked out.
And oh yeah, Megawatt's doing a death warp because the small key's in the big key chest, so that's it for us in Thieves Town.
Right. That's what I figured. He was setting up that death warp because he figured it out. We might see Walsh do the same thing here, actually.
Walsh, where are you going?
Maybe he doesn't realize that the small key's there.
You don't have a small key.
Right. Yep.
Now he's just got a death warp by falling off.
Yeah. I feel like at one time or another we've all had, anyone who's played this has had that situation where you just forget, oh yeah, I can't get to that because I don't have that, and it's in the other room. Well, I guess I don't need to worry.
But it shows you how Phendrana Drifters is undefeated, you know. Heads up plays that can save you half a minute like that add up.
Mm-hmm. It's like you said, Jossie, it's just those small little things add up over time. So, you know, if you have 12 plays that save you 5 seconds, that's a minute. So, like, little tiny things, optimizations, just remembering things, you know, routing efficiently. These things add up over time, and that's why you kind of see these top teams be where they're at, because they're really good at doing the little things that matter.
Hey, there are mitts in Skull Woods. That is a nice find, and none of the other runners have been in there yet.
No. And we were talking about that a little bit earlier. That would be a good play to go do, and tile roomies are the first ones to actually poke their heads in and say, hey, what's in Skull Woods?
And Walsh is like, well, there are only 2 items here anyway. I'm gonna go for the back. So Frostbite is our second player onto Argus. He's gonna get his sword when he finishes this fight. So clearly Walsh told Hazu about those mitts and she went for them right away. I wonder if she's gonna follow Walsh to the back so that they can both try to kill this boss. Oh, and I don't think Walsh intended to get grabbed by that wall master. Oh, Hazu's doing the front in case the second item's here in the front. Oh, that's an awful place to put a trap.
Yeah, that's just mean.
And Argus down on Frostbite's side. Oh yeah, so the other thing is Hazu can't go to the back. She doesn't have a sword.
Nope.
It's easy to forget that you need a sword for the back of Skull Woods.
There's a dead rock hanging out in there, so that's pleasant.
But it looks like Frostbite is going to take that sword and go to the back of Skull Woods. Ooh, that is not a good place to get deadrocked.
Nope. I had a worry.
And of course, the door is going to close before the deadrock moves.
Yes.
Okay, he gets by it.
Okay, there we go.
And Megawatt is just about on the eastern boss and going to get his sword. Hazu's got to go there soon. I mean, she needs a sword.
And they know that it's there, so...
And we have Blind, and you can't exactly script him in this room.
Nope. And really tough at this part because of the spikes being on the top there. You can't get to your normal position and get behind. But this will be a little bit better. Oh, well, maybe not so much.
At least the spikes don't move, but the floor still does.
Yep, and yeah, I was waiting for a fireball to catch him.
And Hazu, good idea there, getting a potion. As I was saying, all of our runners could really benefit from that. She just got a green. She didn't even take the free health refill in there. Oh, she's gonna check out Meyer area. Very interesting. No mirror. And Meyer's a pendant, and only has 2 items in it. So we'll get 2 items out of the Meyer shed. And Meyer's ether anyway, so we can't get in. So literally, she's just getting these 2 items. Megawatt, meanwhile, is farming rupees. I wonder.
So I think the I do wonder what Megawatt's up to down there with the rupee farming. But the one thing to keep in mind for Walsh here, especially if he falls again to the blind fight, is just you have to think at some time. You have to figure out sometime. Just kind of. How much time do you want to spend in the dungeon? You know you have to complete the dungeon, but especially ones like this that kind of you have to walk all the way back to get to the boss. It can be a lot of time lost just getting back there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Ice Palace is kind of notorious for that because you get sent all the way back to the start and have to go all the way back down to get to Cold Sayer again.
And he's certainly got other things he can do. I know you want to see what's on blind, but still.
Right, he's in a little better position this time, though.
He was until blind went back to the top.
Right. And this is kind of difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, this is bad.
Not good. Ouch.
Frostbite, meanwhile, takes down Trinex. Okay, Hazu's finally going to Eastern to get her sword.
Oh, Jula Ninja in chat pointing out something. I think Jula's assessment's correct. That's what Megawatt was granting for the big bomb money.
Ah, makes sense. Yeah. And meanwhile, Walsh tried to flute, forgetting that he hasn't been up Death Mountain to get the flute yet.
That's kind of the danger sometimes of co-op races when you're communicating with each other. Is you'll know where things are, and you just kind of forget, like, because you know where it is. You just kind of might not have it yet. He is going to go up Death Mountain and get all the good things up there.
I'm very curious about this big bomb, though, because when you get both 5-6 crystals pretty early in a seed like this, there's often something on Pyramid Fairy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have Chad also pointing
No
this
luck.
out for Walsh? There's actually a really good reason to go up here and do this now, because you've got Dark World Death Mountain access too, so which nobody else had when they came up here.
Yeah. Oh, and he found the mirror somewhere. I missed that. Did you see where Walsh got the mirror?
I think it was in Skull Woods. I think in the chest that was the chest at the front of where
Back hallway?
yeah, the very first chest when you go
Okay,
inside here. So Frostbite will probably pick it up here in a moment.
So, as always, Skull Woods has massive progression.
Actually, yeah, Walsh trying to go into Hera first.
Yeah, and he knows that what he's gonna need is that item off of Helmasaur, so hopefully he can get Helmasaur down.
Yep, that is the one nice thing about going into different dungeons too. Is when one runner goes in and checks everything, the second runner can go in and just optimize it and just save time.
And the Walsh is taking a bit of time to set up Harapot. Ooh, didn't work. You might want to kill the Jazz Hand guy. He can, screw up your positioning.
Ah, he's got him out of the way now, at least. So that's good. I think maybe Walsh has just kind of decided, no, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, I think if he had killed the Jazz Hand guy first, then he might have had a better chance at Harapotting.
Probably so.
And let's see how Frostbite, with a bit more health, does here against Blind. As I say, a bit more health, he starts getting hit. But he is on phase 3. Can take one more hit, though. Ah, but he has red goo. What Walsh wishes he had.
Well, Hazu's taking care.
Oh, and
Marcus?
Frostbite down. Ooh. And that was with more hearts and red goo.
Yeah, that's just such a brutal fight. Because it feels like half the time you're just dodging, playing defense, and the other half the time you can finally go on the attack. Megawatt checking out the Mire Shed and has a bunch of junk. But we did get a peek. I think we did get a peek at the Ether medallion being needed to get inside.
Yeah, we saw that.
To get inside.
We saw that when Hazu went there.
Oh, okay. Yep. There's that flute for Walsh.
Walsh didn't... Or maybe he intentionally went back down and he'll go up through Super Bunny Cave.
Yep.
Okay.
I was going to say that's probably the smart
Makes
play.
Sense.
Getting the efficiency of that routing, saving himself a little bit of extra time.
Oh, and Frostbite is giving us our first look at Front of Escape. This is Sphere 1, and no one's been in there yet.
Nope. Can't blame anyone for not going, because there are a lot of other things that were open. And so far, Super Bunny produces just some bombs and money.
Also, I believe, given open logic, the key can't be back here, so the small key must be in Dark Cross, so we don't have to go to Dark Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Had a discussion with Christos about that logic once. It makes your head hurt if you try to think about it too much.
So far, not a lot in
Walsh.
Hookshot Cave. Uh-oh.
Just last night I saw a runner do that too. That is not where you want to stun a hard hat beetle.
Nope. But good news was he figured out very quickly how to get around that. Just had to wait out the stun.
So now Hazu's going back here. Now that she knows that the mirror's in that chest, oh, she's not immediately going for it. I would think knowing that the mirror's down there, you'd go get the mirror and then mirror. But will Megawott be the first of our runners to actually take down Helma King? Fighter Sword Spin Strats. Takes, what, 8 of these?
I believe so.
Only takes 4 hammer hits, but the hammer hitbox is so small. But there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Oh no.
Didn't want to see your Meyer entrance right there. By the way, did Walsh check Turtle Rock medallion requirement while he was up there?
You know, I don't recall seeing it, but I was also like flip-flopping back and forth between the different fights that are going on right now.
Yeah, I didn't notice. It's not on the tracker. Our tracker bandman saying he did not, which is a bit surprising because even if it's a pendant dungeon, you kind of want to know.
Hazu almost got it. Oh, I think she had 8 out of 9 hits in.
Oof. And Desert is hard boots locked.
Nope.
Okay, so both of our medallion pendant dungeons are ether, though without the Cane of Samaria, Megawatt's not going to go inside.
No, but he's got it open now at least, so make the next trip, if you have to come inside, a little bit easier. And Hazu also picking up a potion, getting a blue one. Nice call on that. Frostbite, meanwhile, is back in Skull Woods. Gets dead rocked.
Blind take 2.
Walsh, ooh, Ice Palace.
Spicy.
Yep. So anytime you see that flute to 8, you're kind of thinking, is Ice Palace play coming up here?
It's basically in logic. I mean, the key logic could require Cane of Samaria, and of course, life would be easier getting through this dungeon with the Cane of Samaria.
And I think Hazu may be heading to Swamp Palace.
Except she never picked up that mirror.
Oh, and she realizes that right now, too. Whoops.
Yeah, remember I was saying, why doesn't she grab the mirror before she tries blind?
Yep. It's one of those you pause the screen for a moment, you just kind of stare, and you're just like, I feel so dumb right now. But Frostbite having a little bit better time on this second fight. He has to have a blue potion, so that should make this boss down here in just a moment. There we go. And Megawatt now heading over to Ice Palace as well.
And Walsh clears out that whole room for a map.
Yep. And Frostbite, of course, getting a drop from Blind, and it also is a map. Though I think we kind of knew that going in because we found all the items.
Oh, those red guards are awful. They just want to be friends with you, you know? I really hope Walsh bought some potions. Or not.
Nope.
I mean, you got the money for it.
Yeah, that's a that room is just mean.
Yeah, I just wonder why the runners, given that they have a flute and can go to the potion shop anytime they want, have not been stocking up on potions for the most part. Let's see how Megawatt fares in that room that's giving Walsh a headache.
And Megawatt coming in with a couple more hearts and just a little better situation on the health and one.
Well,
Yep.
the key thing was he managed to stun those guards basically as soon as he entered the room.
That was
Because if you don't do that, then they're just stomping on you, which is what's happened to Walsh twice now.
Yep, and he's gonna go back in. At least this time it's pretty close to the entrance, so not too terrible. And Megawatt having a little trouble with that bomb placement, getting hit by the anti-fairy. And dealing with the shadow creatures instead of the Stalfos. Not gonna complain about that. A little bit easier.
And Hazu had potions and didn't use it in time. She was too busy hammering and the head got her.
Yeah. So the good news for the Ice Palace Ice Palace bomb jump is there's no fire bar. You just gotta deal with this mimic instead. There we go.
Dying to an anti-fairy.
Yep. Pen Gator room, and meanwhile, is devoid of Pen Gators this time.
And I only just noticed that Frostbite went into Swamp and is giving us our first look at that.
So it looks like Walsh will be heading into Swamp as well here. Having finally kind of given up on diving further in the Ice Palace. That's kind of, as far as tile roomies go, the thing I think that's hurting them right now is just not being able to complete these dungeons. They're getting around and getting to these locations first, but they're just not being able to finish them at the moment, and that's letting Venjana Drifters kind of catch back up and get into those same dungeons.
Did you see what Megawatt just got?
Oh, there, Candace Maria. Yep.
Yep.
That will be helpful.
So, definitely going to see that bomb jump from all our runners. This is not an icebreaker seed.
No, this is a mean seed. Just like things conveniently located past the point where you would use them to get through easier.
Right, you mean like that half magic on Trinex?
Yep, Samaria after the icebreaker, just nice things. Argus spitting out a sword.
There's that powder, though, in ice as well. So ice is really stacked. I mean, just given the sheer number of anti-fairies in this Randomizer, that powder is incredibly useful.
Right. Not just because they turns them into regular fairies, but obviously you just get them off the board altogether. And Megawott just doing the runaround here.
And I guess he got all 3 items, and that's why he's skipping iced tea.
I believe so. He's looking for that powder. He wants the powder anti-fairy.
Well, the anti-fairy kept getting in his way.
Right.
Oh, and Frostbite has found Vitreous in the back of Swamp. Vitreous is a bit easier when you can actually get on level with it and don't have to worry about the poison goo that gives you damage.
Yep. Yeah, and of course, when you get on level with it like that, you also don't have to worry about the lightning bolt so much, so these are all things that are welcome.
And Megawatt takes down Moldorm as Hazukitty takes down Trinex as Frostbite still plugs away with Fighter Sword Vitreous. I'm a little bit surprised he doesn't try a few bombs.
Yeah, he might just be doing it just the safe way here, just to kind of keep him at arm's length. We've had enough scurry bosses so far. Yeah. And one more eyeball to go.
And of course, you know, that shovel and that powder give us 2 more fetch quests.
Everybody loves a fetch quest. Now the hammer comes out in phase 2 of the Viddy fight.
Very dangerous game of ping pong. And down goes Frostbite. Let's see if Walsh does any better here.
Yeah, that's so frustrating too. When you've got onto that second phase, you know you're just a couple hits away, and Frostbite gonna bounce out.
These runners have taken more boss deaths than I've seen, like, in any seed this week so far.
I know.
And I don't blame. I mean, hey, at least Walsh died quickly as opposed to Frostbite, who spent the whole fight and then died.
Right. It just kind of feels like that the boss mix-ups here are just like they're really mean based on the items we have.
Wonder if Walsh is going to do Smith Chain now. Though he did not make it far enough into ice to get that powder, so he can't do Magic Bat in the process. Well, that's a nice find.
Very nice find, in fact. It'll make that swamp fight go a little bit smoother.
It also means we can do pod.
Yep. And we are going to get a couple checks here. Walsh gonna talk to Stumpy.
And in fact, I believe that's no mode.
That's a good call.
Or at least 20 seconds of no mode, unless GT Big Key is on the torch. So then it's a matter of, okay, Tile Roomies needs to find out about that Cane of Samaria, and Fendrana Drifters needs to find out about that bow. And with Frostbite in Swamp, I have to imagine he'll do Cave 45 before too long.
Yeah, you would think that it'll probably be like right afterward too, which will be a situation where you feel kind of bad finding that bow after doing the Viddy fight.
Oh, chat pointing out, we are in fact in sword mode. We do need at least one more sword.
Right. Yes, because we do have fighter swords all around. We just need the master sword for the Ganon fight. So now we're just kind of waiting to see who goes where, and Walsh is going to go into pod, probably looking for a pod clear at this point with that bow. Meanwhile, Frostbite is taking advantage of coming back in with a little bit more care this time to take out Vitreous. Megawatt, meanwhile, going back and check Checkerboard Cave, looks like. How's he picking up that bow on the Cave 45? And there we go. Kiki getting the payment to open up pod, and in goes Walsh.
And looks like Hazukitty is gonna give Ice a try with that bow that she just picked up.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Frostbite having that extra potion that he bought should be able to get through this fight okay.
There we go.
Hooray, finally.
Now, no one's actually done left side, have they?
Nope. Then went straight to the back.
And that compass on Viddy means that there's at least one item there. I can't remember if we've seen any other dungeon items. Would be nice to see something like another Sword or the Silvers show up either on left side swamp or on the pod boss.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty welcome for most of our runners right now, especially Vendrano Drifters really needing that bow. But Megawatt's into Turtle Rock, so
Wow.
here we
Pendant
go.
Dungeon Dive.
Yep. There's a lot of items in here, but still, it's a pretty long dungeon.
And apart from a sword upgrade or silvers, I mean, maybe he can find boots in here, but, you know, there isn't that much he could find because we know where the bow is, or at least one bow. Heck of a trip to take to try to find a bow when you haven't even checked Cave 45.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those situations if Frostbite goes and checks afterward, finds it there, it's going to be a, yeah, I didn't need to do that, did I? Moment, and Megawatt's going to feel real bad.
Oh, and Walsh is in fact going straight for the boss, which is a nice move because if the boss drops an item, then you can potentially skip out of Dark Maze in the middle if you know there's a dungeon item there. But since
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good assessment there, Drosy. But what made me laugh was the fact that he pushed the statue up and actually trapped the vulture in there. So it's kind of funny. The vulture's trying to fly across and get to him on the circular pattern, and it couldn't do it. Yeah, here we go from Walsh. Gonna go back and check the or take out the boss. Meanwhile, Frostbite is checking the two left side chests here. What do we got? A map. So that's not anything helpful.
And some sticks. So left side swamp's a bust. Is Megawott gonna turn up anything here? That had to be a small key because he was out of small keys, so it was a key for a key situation.
Yep. Ooh, well, good thing he had
nice
that bow.
enemy to face with that. Yeah.
Convenient. Of course, you need a bow to get back here in the first place, so...
Doesn't quite get the quick kill, though.
Got 10 bombs out of it, but... Yeah, Frostbite's about to find that bow.
But just look at the relative crystal counts on the two sides, even with Megawott presumably wasting all this time. Ooh, shield. Oh, and there, yeah. I wonder if Megawatt's going to keep searching while he's up here.
I think we may see the flute.
Fluting,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, you never know. Maybe Mimic Cave would have had a Master Sword.
I mean, that's going to be the worst feeling in the world if, you know, if your Master Sword's on, like, Laser Bridge and you left early because you're like, oh, there's a bow here. I need to go get that. Oh, wait, Master Sword's all the way back where I just left. Darn it.
Okay, Hazu gets the guard stunned there, so she's in a better situation than her partner was.
Yes.
And she's not afraid to torch them either. Oh, chat pointing out that, like, given that Vitreous is the boss of Swamp Palace, it's kind of odd that Megawott didn't, you know, get the bow before going in there.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, just forgot, or was there, like, a miscommunication with that or something? Not quite sure.
I mean, given that he fluted out of Turtle Rock as soon as Frostbite found the bow, he must know where it is. But with all these enemies and with the number of boss deaths the runners have been taking, you know, it's hard to keep track of everything. I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you have to keep in mind.
Oh, and Hazukitty having a bit of trouble with the bomb jump here. Now, they don't know that they're going to find the cane, but I was thinking, given where the cane is, you don't actually need the bomb jump because you can just use the cane to hit the block, which is actually what the game's expecting you to do because there was a small key on whoever the boss was in there. Moldorm?
For Ice Palace?
Yeah.
I think it was another Trinix.
Where did we see Moldorm then?
Oh, Ice Palace was Moldorm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remembered Megawatt fighting a Moldorm somewhere, and...
Ah, yes, okay. I think I just mixed things up in my head.
So yes, Phendrana Drifters are in sword mode now. But who knows where the other three swords are?
be pretty much anywhere we haven't checked, and unfortunately, there's a lot of locations where those swords can pop up.
Yeah, understandably, no one's dipped mire. And Desert's boots locked, I mean... I shouldn't think of absolute worst case scenarios, but imagine boots in GT and the 2 items in... No, we got 1 item out of Desert.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, well, still, boots in GT and, like, a sword in Desert, a sword in King's Tomb, and maybe book also in GT and the final sword's on Bombos, something like that. Or even Bonk Rocks. At least we know Ped's dead. So Megawatt seems to have this Hammer Vitreous fight down pretty well. Frostbite just picked up the fairy even though he's at full health anyway. Hazu, you need the key from under the pot. So that is Frostbite's 5th crystal. Megawatt picked up his 6th on that Vitreous fight, so Megawatt just needs to go to Pod, finish off the Armos Knights there, and he can be climbing Death Mountain before he knows it. And in point of fact, likewise Frostbite, the difference is Frostbite will have to duck into Tower of Hera first before he can go into GT. What is in this cave? Fairy. Wow. Another heads-up play on Megawatt's part. Like, he got the bug net, so he's... And we've had so many bottles this seed, so he's going fairy hunting. I didn't even know there were fairies in that cave.
Yeah, it's a cave we don't normally see very much in Randomizer. But always nice to see these little one-off locations.
But yeah, just... You know, you have to appreciate these super heads-up plays.
Yeah, I mean, the plays like that are really just... That's where you get that deep game knowledge. You just remember, okay, I can pick up a fairy here, or hey, underneath this pot, there's 10 arrows that I might need. Like,
and Hazu decides against trying to do Diver Down with Bombs.
Yeah, just remembering all those little things are just super important to making sure that you can kind of maximize what you can get out of your movement.
So it's definitely faster for Megawatt to get that small key so he can unlock the middle door. Oh, he's not unlocking the middle door. Oh, right, because he has to go this way to get the big key. And he'll need 1 small key for the back, so it's easier to do that than have to grab one of the other small keys.
So yeah, for Megawatt completing this dungeon, that's crystal number 8 on his side of things. So he's
Crystal
going to be
number 8.
7.
Yeah,
I was counting a number of dungeons they've been in. So my bad. Yeah, 7. Yeah, there's 8 crystals, and the seed's super evil.
well, I remember there was that holiday festive a year or two ago where you had to get the equivalent of 8 crystals. By the way, for those of you who haven't played the holiday festive yet, I highly recommend downloading it from ALTTPR.com. It's pretty cool this time around.
Absolutely. Holiday Festival's always kind of interesting. The different holiday, there's a couple throughout the year too, so it changes up every once in a while. Definitely check that out, ALTTPR.com. Just keep checking out, different holiday times is when we get different holiday festivals. There's a Halloween one and there's an Easter one, so always something new to check out too.
And with Megawatt on his way to his 7th crystal, we have a little game we're going to play as Megawatt then climbs up Death Mountain to get to Ganon's tower.
Yep. So not quite yet. Don't put your numbers in the chat yet. Gotta wait for the prompt to go. But it's a good time to start thinking. Start thinking of a number. Think, not type. But yeah, there's the Argus, not the Argus, but the Armos Knights are going down super quick here.
Yeah, there's the crystal.
Yep. And it's about that time. So in GT, there are 22 possible locations for the big key. And what we're asking for you is a number between 1 and 22 where you think that big key will be. And this goes by locations checked. So this will probably be, I would assume this will be off Megawatt stream, and it will be the location number that he checks where he finds the big key. So Jossie, what are you thinking tonight?
Yeah. Well, I was just doing a little bit of search. I try to pick 10, but that always goes quickly, and the other numbers I was thinking of went quickly. So I went for 13 because no one wants to, pick the unlucky number.
Right.
What are you thinking, Nihon?
I had the same problem. I like to pick 15 because for whatever reason that always seems to be where it's at, and that was pretty quickly snapped up. So I had to go for 7 instead, which in a normal routing kind of puts it near the compass room. So hopefully I get one of those. And it's opened up in the right order too. Could be like 4 depending on when Megawatt checks it. And Frostbite actually just has to do Hera, so Frostbite will be in pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, they may be able to divide up the labor a bit. I'm gonna guess that guessing 21 or 22 isn't gonna be a good guess because by that point Frostbite will be in GT and will be, doing some of the checks Megawatt hasn't.
Right. So that's actually kind of one of the interesting things is that we could see Megawatt do a longer clear here that checks some of the locations, and then Frostbite will just kind of do like the shorter clear. Or at least,
so maybe Megawatt.
I was gonna say Megawatt will go right side and check those just there, and if it's not there, then Frostbite knows that he doesn't have to go right side at all, unless it's in the evil location of Tile Room.
Yeah, so there's a small key. Right, so might Megawatt actually go full right so that Frostbite can just go full left and they divide it up that way?
Right, so we could see a Tile Room check actually right here. I wouldn't really be shocked at all. Nope, I'm gonna skip it for now. Gonna prioritize the speed of checking these 4 over here over getting the full clear. Now, of course, Frostbite could also dip in and check Tower Room real quick.
Yeah, now what's interesting is we have not seen the torch yet, and there is a chance that the big key's on the torch, and we're going to be in a boots hunt.
Yep. So one thing that was in the back of my head, I didn't bring it up, but it is very much within realm of possibility here. So yeah, there's 6. You know, I'm pretty much hoping for Boots Seed right now to be right.
And Megawatt is not going full right.
Nope.
So
Can go.
how's the division of labor going to work out when Frostbite gets in there?
Yeah, that's gonna be really weird. Unless Frostbite goes full right and just keeps going right and gets to the second Armos Knights first. And nope, it's not on the lamp. It's not on the torch.
Now, with a small key on the torch, logic says that Aga2 is boots locked. Because the game always assumes you use the keys in the dumbest way possible, including unlocking that middle door, which no one except Kern ever does.
Right. This is where I make the self-depreciating joke and says it has my logic. I know better than that. But yeah, there we go. We got the start of the left side check, double firebar room, which is not double firebar tonight. Doesn't have anything, so we're gonna keep going. Now this is where it could be interesting, Drosy. We could see Frostbite go right and do tile room.
Looks that way because I don't know why else he'd go. I mean, I guess the key's nice.
Right.
Nope, he's just going there for the key.
Well, darn.
Well, there went my guess of 13.
Yep. Randomizer room will be up next.
Have not really seen anything useful. Like, we haven't gotten silvers, we haven't gotten the sword upgrade, we haven't gotten boots.
Yeah. You know, that's the thing, Jossie. We're sitting here, we're talking about, oh, maybe they need boots. We still need that sword. Like, we're still
I mean,
Master Sword.
Meanwhile, there was the key on check number 17. So congratulations to Nelson Wells WKU.
Good job. Nice job, Nelson. Yeah. Yeah, we're still gonna get some checks here. Oh wait, no we're not. Megawott just going to the top.
Yeah, they do not want to do Bob's chest or whatever's in the Ice Armos chamber, and they don't want to do tile room. Looks like they're just gonna hope that somewhere upstairs we have a sword.
I mean, we've got 4 chests upstairs, right? So that's kind of what the
and
hope
then
is.
what do you do if you don't get a sword upstairs?
Panic? I don't know. That's a very interesting question because we've seen that Megawatt bowed out of Turtle Rock and left about half the chest still left in the dungeon behind, including all of Laser Bridge. Now there's all
and I mean we have.
Yeah.
I was just going to say we have no boots, we have no books, so that rules out a number of overworld checks.
We have both the medallion tablets are not in logic right now for that. Neither Bonk Rocks nor King's Tomb are in logic for that.
And nor the rest of Desert besides that one, I think it was a piece of heart we got in the map chest.
Right. Well, that would be
dive
something.
Mire? Oh, Frostbite's checking the big chest, and he's now gonna check Bob's chest and the Ice Armos area.
Interesting choice from Frostbite. I do like the play though. I like this. You know, you gotta have that second sword. You do not want to come back. You do not want to have to come back in here and do this all over and do like all the bottom half stuff again, looking for a sword. Get this cleared. Get it out of your mind. You don't have to come back. And Frostbite can kind of afford to do it since they're both in here. So one of them can do all the checks that need to be done down here. Meanwhile, Megawatt can just go clear.
Now we should also mention that rdwalsh is on his final crystal, though he has given up Harapotting and is going to take a coffee break to actually get the big key. So it'll be a couple minutes before he's in GT, but he will be in GT shortly.
Right. And Icevitty, ew. That's not fun. Frostbite just being like, nope, not worth. Not worth on this planet or any others. If there's a sword back there, there's probably 2 more swords out in the world. I can go do something else.
So ooh, and Megawatt takes a death to that cold stare. Good thing he got those fairies.
Yeah. I was gonna say that looks really nice at this point. Really smart play. Basan just saying 3 swords behind Icevitty. That is the meanest possible placement for all those.
And he's actually doing fighter sword strats. I mean, you have some choices here. You have half magic, so you could go for Fire Rod. There's also Hammer, as Megawatt just did, but it does have that small hitbox. And each of those puffballs will take 3 hearts damage, so Megawatt can't get hit now.
Gotta be really careful. It's got 1 down at least. It's got to watch for the chunks of ice that are falling.
I mean, he does have a second fairy.
Yeah, I was gonna say there goes that second fairy. But I do not believe he's got.
Did Hazu run out of arrows? So she's got 1 arrow left. She effectively did run out of arrows there on. No, you don't want to spin attack because spin attack does Master Sword damage, and the game in its brilliance has Master Sword actually do less damage to Armos than a Fighter Sword does. So Hazu's actually prolonging this battle with those spin attacks. Come on, Hazu, just slash. Oh, that room is annoying when it's not just Wizrobes for Megawatt.
Yeah, it's not really the most satisfying room in the game, part 1 or part 2, because there's far less satisfying when you've got to deal with randomized enemies. It's not as simple.
And yes, this is the first of 2 games between these 2 teams. The second one will be tomorrow. Let's see what time and who's running in it. Yes, it is at 1:10 p.m. tomorrow, and will feature rdwalsh and Jay Meisher for Tile Roomies, and Frostbite and Jet82 for Fendrana Drifters.
It's a bunch of good runners. It'll be very, very interesting to see how that one goes.
Yeah. So Megawatt waiting for the jingle here, so he doesn't despawn the tower, as we saw happen in an open race a couple days ago. Having a bit of trouble aiming his fire rod there.
Yeah, tower despawn is the nightmare when it comes to going up GT. You make all this hard work, go through Gauntlet, and suddenly everything's gone, and you have to go back down and do it again.
There's Quake, which does absolutely nothing for us, so if Moldorm 2 chest, which is now going to be Moth chest, doesn't have it, we're in a sword hunt.
Right. Conveniently, the Moth 2 room is shaped like Moth. The Moldorm 2 room is shaped like Mothula, so... And it's big 300, yep. We're going hunting for swords.
Yeah, maybe there's one behind Icevitty, maybe there's one in Tile Room.
Correct answer for where are the swords is all of the bad places.
Right. We haven't seen Zora yet because there hasn't really been much money this seed, but with those 300 rupees, Megawott can now check Zora.
Wouldn't that be just perfect, Rossi? It's been sitting there the whole time. We haven't even seen Zora. It could be sitting on Zora Ledge. I don't think we've even seen that.
No,
yet.
we saw Zora Ledge. That one's vanilla, actually. Yeah.
I know it was so long ago. I was just trying to remember if we've even seen that, but we definitely haven't seen Zora.
So, what's Megawatt gonna do now? I mean, presumably mirror and flute somewhere.
Yeah, I think if you're Megawatt, you've got to be sitting here thinking, what can I get to easily? You know, what location can I get to easily? And obviously, we can't go to Castle Tower because we don't have Master Sword. We don't have Cape, so we can't get past the little gate there at the start.
And in any case, it's not key sanity, so all we'd find there would be a couple of small keys.
Exactly.
Frostbite's going to be in the same boat soon. It'll be interesting to see what rdwalsh does after he gets the big key here in Rando Room. Like, is he going to full clear the basement?
Oh, so yeah, Smith Chain. That would be a good call here for Megawatt, getting these available checks out of the way.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the Smith Chain yet, have we?
We have not.
Because rdwalsh might have been going to do it, and then he found the bow in K45 and decided to do things with the bow.
Ooh.
Oh!
Okay, that was
spicy.
So yeah, the Mimic was hiding the book the whole time. I think. I don't know if we actually saw that in any of the swim bys of the island.
Yeah, I sure hadn't noticed that book was there.
Oh, yeah, I must have missed it. But that's a good call. I think you get a couple extra locations.
But we can't actually pull a tablet without another sword.
Right. That's also a good point.
We can read the tablets. If we get a Master Sword and we find the Tempered's on a tablet, we might go there because Ganon's a lot faster with Tempered.
Yep.
Especially Silverless.
Especially if you're Hazu and it's and you manage to read the tablet for Ether and it's like, hey, there's a sword here. And you may grab that on your way into GT. The Megawatt taking that blue chest, gonna get the magic badge. What do you have for us today? Not a yay.
Oh, so Frostbite did not want to check Zora, even though he just pulled 300 rupees. Bit surprised there. Is Frostbite maybe gonna... No, he wouldn't be going this way to check Spike Cave, might be checking the back of Turtle Rock. Spike Cave isn't actually in logic because we have neither Cane of Burna nor the Cape.
Nope.
I mean, Megawatt with 14 hearts could just cheese it, and, the other runners could get potions.
I think they're both running over to Turtle Rock.
And meanwhile, Walsh didn't do those extra checks in GT, and he's hoping for a second sword up the tower, which he's not going to find. So we got Mimic Cave, we got Laser Bridge, we got whoever the boss is back here. And we got Crystal Roller Room. Right, Megawatt never went that far even.
Meanwhile, Walsh is going up through Gauntlet here, like normal, and Hazu is working to finish up, gonna take care of the anti-fairy first, I think, just trying to stay safe while she's being chased by everything.
So we have a long hike through Turtle Rock here before Megawatt can start doing new checks. And Frostbite, of course, needs to take all these detours to pick up the keys to allow him to progress.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, this is interesting that the cold stair floor got dark here. Wasn't dark for the other runners.
Yeah.
Randomizer does really weird things with graphics sometimes. And Megawatt is in Mimic Cave, which he almost went into until Frostbite told him about the bow earlier.
There it is.
If Frostbite had held off for like 10 seconds, or if Megawatt had just been like, you know, I'll check Mimic Cave while I'm right here before I flute out. So he's going to grab some potions, which totally makes sense.
I think that's a smart call, obviously.
Yeah, you're doing Master Sword Silverless. You want some safeties. I mean, these runners obviously are very high quality runners. They have done Master Sword Silverless many times in their lives. You still want safeties if you can.
You just kind of want to... You don't want to take any sort of unnecessary risk at this point.
So Megawatt has taken his slow walk over to Ganon. And Frostbite's about to get his Master Sword, and then he'll also take a slow walk over. So we need a mere 52 spin attacks on Ganon to defeat him.
Easy enough. Easy, super breezy. It's just, yeah, gonna be a lot of hard work at this point.
But those Samaria blocks are nice because if you don't bounce off Ganon, you can get multiple spins in at once. We must be done with Phase 1 now. Yeah, there goes Phase 2. Lagorific Phase 2.
Laggy. Just gotta avoid the fire bats here.
And Frostbite also taking that long, slow walk as rdwalsh faces Aga 2. Unless he finds one of the other two sword upgrades really quickly, though, I don't think he's gonna get that Master Sword before Phendrana Drifter's finish.
I really think at this point it's, it's smart, slow gameplay from Phendrana Drifters, and they should be. Arrows are in the light world, so
maybe their boots locked.
It might be boots locked. Did we ever see? I'm not sure we ever saw Graveyard Ledge.
They could always be on Ped.
A lot of possibilities. Or a tablet. Lots of places in the light world.
Yeah. But Megawatt is on phase 4 here, where it's really nice to have half magic. Oh, right. Tile Roomies never did Front of Escape. So that makes sense that Walsh would be going there now.
Looking for that remaining sword. And it's not a bad play if you have a location that's really close to where you need to be that you just haven't checked yet.
Yeah, I'm wondering, the credits will tell us what was on Zora, the credits will tell us what was on Ped.
That's true. While Megawott just got the torch glitch, just kind of smoothly and steadily making his way through the phase 4 Ganon fight here.
And Frostbite takes a death. Did he get a fairy? Yes, he did. Good.
Yeah. I think we saw Megawatt use his fairies, both of them. I don't think we've seen Frostbite use his, so I believe he should be okay.
And down goes Ganon for Megawatt. Get your GGs in chat.
Very nicely done. Very tough seed, but very nicely done from Megawatt. Megawatt will finish first overall among all 4 of our runners with a 1:37.01 on racetime.gg. And just waiting for Frostbite to finish here. Meanwhile, Megawatt.
Okay, speeding through the credits. So life lesson from Zora. Oh, Silver's on Ped. We weren't getting those.
Yep.
And we have no idea where the other two swords were.
Hello.
So we've got Frostbite and Megawatt waiting here, but we're just going to wait for Frostbite to finish on screen.
Oh, yep.
I don't know how many spins this is, but it's a lot.
And there we go. And yep, get those GGs back in chat again. That's Frostbite just about to finish up here.
And Phendrana Drifters improves to 13-0.
Absolutely great play from them tonight. And just the 1:38.52 will be the racetime.gg time for Frostbite. And yes, that will put them at 13-0. And I believe we're going to get double forfeit here from Walsh and Hazu just because race is over pretty much.
I can't blame them.
This is really, really tough, so I can't blame them either. And we should have them here in just a moment to chit chat with them about their experience with this seed as well.
Well, And in the meantime, we can chat with Megawatt and Frostbite. GG's, guys.
Yo, thanks, and GG's to our opponents as well, Walsh and Hazukitty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
GG's. The seed won, I think. I don't think anyone actually won. I still haven't found the boot.
This was a disgusting seed.
I still haven't found the boots.
Megawatt, the thing is, when you were diving Turtle Rock and then Frostbite finds the bow, and I'm like, it's just in front of Mimic Cave.
In all honesty,
Not that we knew the sword was there, but still, it was. You weren't tempted to just do that one more check?
I should have, but when I heard Frostbite find the bow, like the first thing my mind jumped to was like, okay, go mode. The other sword's just in GT, right? And so I left without really thinking about it much further. Because like I had already like just walked out of Turtle Rock after checking Big Chest. So the decision was like made in an instant basically, because I didn't want to just stand around. I was like, okay, I'll just mirror and we'll float away.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have any time to think about it. So in hindsight, it definitely would have been smarter to just check that since it was right there. But I don't know. I can't make perfect decisions all the time, I guess.
Yeah, I feel
It
like
definitely cost us.
that's a big load of hindsight that the sword actually ended up being there because, like, you know, where do you draw the line? I could have checked the shovel faster than he could have checked Mimic Cave. Should I check the shovel before we went? Like, I just think that that's kind of BS. And you just, when you get sword mode, you just go. I mean, obviously, because it was a sword, it was super bad for us, but it was okay. GG's, guys.
GG's, guys.
No, GG.
Yeah.
Man,
This is what happens when you raise me.
that was just such a tough seed, like for all four of you.
Yeah.
How is? Let's first off, we're gonna do a little self care for our wonderful vendors here, and just how are you guys? How are you all feeling right now?
I think if I hadn't botched the execution so badly, we might have had a chance. Might. But probably not.
I mean, there were a lot of boss deaths all around.
Yeah, did you see me bail on Woods and forget the mirror?
Oh,
We noticed that when you went to Swamp and couldn't get in.
Yeah.
well, I bailed on Skullwoods before finding the mirror. Yeah, I was so hot after that blind death. Like, honestly, like you probably could have heard me from wherever you
Yes.
are.
I died
was-
on the second, I think, was it the last hit or second to last
Yeah.
in the first blind fight?
Mine was the last hit, and I missed the swing like 20 times. Like, I was like, honestly, like if this had been any other scenario, there's not a chance I'm continuing with the seed after that death. I was so angry, and I don't really like to play when I'm super hot, so like I tend to just
Yeah.
forfeit, right? But
Yeah.
couldn't. Still haven't found the
So-
silvers. They're in the light world somewhere. Did anyone see them? Were they on PED?
Yeah, the credits said they were on PED.
Yeah, that makes
What
sense.
wonderful.
Ew.
I'm more curious where the other two
Oh.
swords were.
Boots
Yeah.
too. I'm curious about.
Yeah,
There's probably just
I have a
nothing on Laser
question.
Bridge.
How did
No,
I
I've
manage
checked
to arm Spooky for Armos Nights?
I don't know how any of that black magic works, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was hitting them with the fire rod, and then just one takes a hit in the spikes.
Yeah, the spikes do damage, so that's the first thing. But like, as long as you
But
have
it
the
was-
flute, you'll arm some sort of spooky with
Yeah.
like the ancilla. I think. I don't know. I've been playing for the last 15 minutes or whatever after we finished, and I still haven't found the boots or either sword. So like, the
Yeah.
siege just this sucks.
But yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was actually hitting just the. I hit one of the Armos Knights in front of the fire rod, and the one that was just circling and back through the spikes took a hit.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I did.
So, in terms of the boots, I was thinking that with the small key on the torch, the game is expecting you to get the boots before you climb GT.
Well, no, that was a pendant. DP
No,
was
the small key on the GT
GP
torch.
torch. Yeah. I mean, not necessarily, but yeah. It wants you to get the boots before you beat the game.
Right.
I don't know
before
any
you-
of that key
Yeah.
logic black magic.
Yeah, Agatu, exactly. So, but that doesn't mean it doesn't want you to go up there and get, like, there wasn't anything up there, so everything was available before,
Yeah.
except for wherever the boots are. So, I don't know. I'm in Mire now. the only other thing left is Ice Vitreous, which I'm not going to do because I'm not going to go get
Wait.
those silver arrows.
Are you saying that there's 2
I'm
swords
seeing you.
and boots on Ice Viddy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who
Did you guys dip Mire? Because we never dipped Mire. That was the only thing we never did.
We never
I
got
never
to
did
Mire.
Mire.
Yeah, we had issues with Hera. Like, Hazu went for it without a sword, and I just, like... A boostless Herapod is literally impossible. I've been... I've learned the setup, I just don't know the setup, if that makes any sense.
That totally
But
makes sense, because that's how
Yeah.
I feel about the
When I went up to
setup.
Hera and I didn't
Yeah.
have any magic and I was worried about what I'd fight, I was like, okay, I really hope it's Tile Room. I really hope it's Tile Room. And Walsh is something to the degree that you never hear anyone say that.
Yeah. Yeah, Megawatt went up and got to Helmasaur, and only he had hammer, but like swordless hammer, it's not.
Yeah,
easy
that I
to
wasn't
get the
gonna try to
last
force
one.
that to happen, so I just came back later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the it's just like it's so interesting. Everything was basically just go to Skullwoods, get everything, and then go find your sword.
What sword?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Well, even the first sword, we didn't get the first sword until half an hour in. Like that was in a stupid spot too. So, oh, have fun with your hammer Argus, forced to get the only sword apparently in the entire game.
Yeah, Walsh
Well-
got that pretty early.
Yeah, that was those swords were definitely in not convenient places.
Yeah.
But oh
No.
man,
Did
Go ahead.
anyone check Spy Cave?
nope. That's one of the few things we have left. I just
I
found
mean,
I did find
you-
Cane of Perna on Ether Tablet.
Yeah, seeing your stream here, I was thinking, oh, Cane of Burner was right there on Ether. Why doesn't he just check Spike?
Yeah. Because I was kind of hunting the silver arrows because I didn't watch the credits.
Oh, yeah, the credits made it obvious.
Yeah.
Hey there, Tiara. Yeah.
Do. But yeah, this is weird. Like we played a couple practice seeds. Nothing was even remotely like this, and it's like hard to practice for just a gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I guess I
did
could have
very
rolled a
well in
swordless
my
randomizer,
practice
but
seeds.
yeah.
I did very well in my practice seeds, and then, including one case where I said, non-required Dark Agate was the play. I think
Yeah.
I did Dark Agate in 3 different practice seeds. Because it just ended up being easier.
That's a scary number of Dark Aga plays.
Ew. I like Dark Agate, but yeah, we found in our practice seeds the back at Thieves Town was always lit. Like, we found Hammer back there twice out of like 4 practice seeds, which is ludicrous. And I don't know. I'll just be super happy when this week is over because this
Yeah.
Randomizer is making
Yeah.
I had,
lowering
like-
my will to want to play the game anymore.
Yeah,
again.
I have
like-
14 hours until I never have to play this mode again. I'm
Yeah,
so
I'm so glad to
I offered to take
hopefully
your
never
place
see it in
tomorrow,
playoffs.
but then I remembered that I can't be available at 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
fun. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll find a sword in Link's house, right? That's how this game works.
I think so, yeah. We're going to Sword in Link House, we're in a Sanctuary, 2 Swords in Blindside. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so stoked.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
I'm not
find
even I'm not even playing tomorrow, and I'm down for that. That
I'm
sounds
gonna
great.
find some way to bribe Synac to make sure that we get a sword in Link's house.
Yeah, just starting Gold Sword. Just put it on easy mode. Just that's my jam.
Yeah, Fear Agent will
Exactly.
be there in chat to say it's rigged.
Yeah.
You got all the stuff on top.
You just
Yeah.
start out
Yeah.
and immediately drop into Ganon, and he's just like,
Yeah.
like, why do you have silvers already?
Reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I've been playing a bunch of Door Rando lately too, because obviously, like that league's sort of starting up, quote unquote, and I feel like I'm way less frustrated with that than I am with this Randomizer right now. Because
Door Rando League?
well, I don't know, like a little challenge or whatever. But yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's not. It's
Invite me
not my
sometime. I
jam.
want to get into Door Rando.
Yeah, just
I like the
got-
crazy stuff.
It's okay, but it's fun. But no, it's like I said, it's really. How do you judge where you are in a seed where you take 2 boss deaths to the bad bosses, where you figure, these were definitely doable, and I shouldn't have died. But like, I feel like assuming my opponents are executing flawlessly is the wrong call in this a lot of the time, because
especially when you're racing me.
well, even like not just that, but like I don't mean that to be negative, but like when I'm doing practice with Jet, he's dying and I'm dying, and it's like, good God, like if we play like this in the league, in the match it's gonna be terrible. But then you watch some of the matches, and we're not the only ones, and there've been a couple free ones that make you feel bad. You see like low sub 110s and whatnot, but I haven't run into one of those seeds in practice yet. But yeah, this is.
I think they only exist in Myth.
Yeah, or in other people's league matches apparently. So you roll enough seeds, you're gonna get some good ones though. I mean, it's the value of numbers. But yeah, these swords are really well hidden.
How many seeds have you guys done total? Just period. I'm just curious.
For Randomizer, I think we did like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
No, just randomizer. Period.
Oh God, I have no idea. Thousands.
Yeah.
I think I've done under 80.
Oh wow.
Somewhere between 60 and 80.
Hi, Helmasaur.
So, yeah, I feel weird in Invitational when I've just done that little.
Yeah, but you've still been playing for a long time. You were in the Spring 17 tournament or the Fall 17?
Fall 2017 secondary.
So there you go. That's been a while.
Yeah. And most of my seeds were the weird stuff, like inverted, swordless, cast damage enemizer with AD keys.
Yeah, I'd almost rather play that at some point. But anyways,
yes, that's fun.
I gotta go grab some food. I'm starving.
It's
and I
great
feel
talking
like
to you.
I need to go take up smoking again, even though I haven't smoked over like 8 years at least.
Oh my goodness.
And Walsh and Frostbite, I'm sure you guys probably want to get some sleep at some point before your match tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I've made better decisions than volunteering to play 2 randomizer races in 24 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
GG's again, guys. Take care.
Yeah, GG's, man.
GG's, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Catch y'all later.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah.
And thanks again to our runners, and please do give them a follow. You'll definitely want to see them tomorrow. Power Roomies actually has 2 more chances to make the playoffs. They can either win the second match tomorrow, or if Team Kappa beats Waffle House Drive-Thru in their final match, which I believe is on Sunday, that would back Tile Roomies into the playoffs. So they still have a good shot here. And of course, if Fendrana Drifters manages to be the only undefeated team in the entire league at the end of the regular season, that would be impressive.
Sure would be.
Either way, you're going to want to see that, which is going to be 1:10 p.m. On SpeedGaming 3 tomorrow. And before then, we actually have a pair of matches at 11:10 a.m., one here on SG2 and one on SG3. We have Error 216 against the Bomb Squad on SG2. Error 216 has already clinched the playoffs and is fighting for seeding. And on SG3, we'll have Team Hime versus Major Mistakes. This is the other thing about how we're doing the league this year with Invitational and Open leagues. If you are the last place team in your division in the Invitational, you get relegated down to the Open League for Season 4, and this game between Team Hime and Major Mistakes, the loser of that game will be relegated to the Open League, so they've got a lot to play for.
They've got stuff to play for. The other 3 teams that are, I believe, yes, because Skullwood's division has finished their matches, so Utang Clan will be dropping down from that group, but we're buddies, and OP got good. 2 teams that have gone 0-12 and 0-13 are already pretty much locked in to be dropped down from their respective divisions. So this will be the last. This will be the last of the relegation matches, so to speak.
And then we, still have 4 remaining playoff spots to be clinched across the Invitational League, and a fair amount of seeding to be decided even once all of these spots have been clinched. And we have 11 races total tomorrow, so definitely give the Speed Gaming channel, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 a follow so that you can keep track of that. We might also be broadcasting some of those on the ALTTPR League channel, and then we also have 2 through 4 there. So yeah, it's going to be busy tomorrow, and a lot of races with playoff implications.
Yeah, very busy weekend ahead. So make sure to follow the Speed Gaming family of networks, which is Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as the ALTTPR League channels, which is ALTTPR League, and I believe we have 2, 3, and 4 on that. So lots going on this weekend.
Yeah, and also shout outs to our trackers, Bandman25 and Mindful Beast. Especially with how crazy the game was at the beginning, there was a lot to keep track of there. Just not many swords.
Indeed. Of course, Drosy, thanks for co-coms.
Yeah, great working with you again, Nihon Tiger.
Make sure to give Drosy a follow. Yeah, so I think we're going to start to wrap this up so everyone can kind of get on with their evenings. Of course, always remember someone out there loves you, and we love you too. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, everyone.